everybody, and welcome to These Views, Health for Your Wealth. Today I have a special guest, my trainee friend, Dr. Sirsimon Forbes.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, yes. So tell people something about you.
Well, like you said, my name is Sirsimon Forbes.
Dr. Sirsimon.
Yeah, that's recently graduated and currently doing a master's in public health. So, you know,
Okay.
making the public aware of healthy things.
Okay, yeah, that's what we're gonna go tell people. I came to talk to you about healthy things. Okay, but before we start, I'd like to warn persons that we have some pictures that might be a bit graphic. So you might want to go away in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, actually, we're starting a little segment. The sequelae. I don't know how to say it. How do you say it?
Sequela.
That sounds like an African dance.
She did what she talking about.
Sequelae, oh, sequelae. Sequelae, oh. I don't know. Sequelae, Okay. So sequelae, basically, you hear the word sequential in there. Sequence meaning one thing happens after another. Sequel.
Yeah.
So basically, we're going to be talking about diseases where it starts off as one thing and then it leads to something else.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah. Well, the condition that you started off with precedes another disease that comes later on.
Right.
For whatever reason.
So we're going to be talking specifically about HPV, which is
Human papillomavirus.
right. It's kind of a big thing in the States. I don't really think we talk about it enough in the Caribbean. Yeah, so we're going to get into that. So our main topic is just to look at some basic information about the things you should know, things that you should do. So just explain again, give an example of a disease that is sequela.
And that's not how you use the word, but anyway, let's go. So, for example, chickenpox.
Alright.
You know chickenpox. A lot of people had chickenpox when they were younger.
I never had it.
Well, a lot of people
Pray
had
Lord.
chickenpox.
Although I hear you could die from it now if you get it as an adult. Did you have it?
No, I didn't get it. I took
The vaccine?
I took the vaccine.
Yeah, my friends gave it to me.
Yeah. So chickenpox you get as a child. You get chickenpox whenever in your life. And the virus itself, when it becomes latent and goes into your spinal cord and lives in one of the columns in your spinal cord, and later on in life it could be reactivated and cause a disease called shingles. You know what shingles?
Yeah, I heard about it. Yes, I saw the ad of the old people on TV.
Yep. So it's basically that. Some people think that shingles just happen on its own, but it's not necessarily that. It's the chickenpox virus, the virus that causes chickenpox, that just latent in your spine and then decides to wake up whenever and.
So yes, that term latent means like it's dormant, like it's just there, but it's not showing any signs or anything like that. So you could have it or not, and HPV is actually like that.
Yeah.
So talk some more about HPV. Like, what could it lead to, or what is the main thing that it leads to?
Alright. Well, the virus itself, several things, mostly cancers, cervical cancer. Cancer of the cervix. Cervical cancer.
I don't know. We keep debating whether or not this is how you say it, because then you have the cervical bones in your spine, so it's like we don't know. So it's like the cervical.
Alright. Cervical cancer. So that's cancer of the cervix. Women have cervices.
We need to look that up. Oh my god.
It is cervices.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, women have cervices. I looked up cervices. Human papillomavirus causes several cancers: oral cancer, vaginal cancer, anal cancer, vulvar cancer, penile cancer, and cervical cancer, which is the one that most studied and most directly linked to the HPV infection.
So basically, since the persons who have the cervix is a woman, so most women are the women prone to
most women are prone to also cervical cancer.
I mean, to get like they're the ones to suffer the most.
Yeah,
Let's say?
because well, from the HPV infection to getting cancer, women are the one that suffer the most because cervical cancer, like I said, is the one that's almost 100% directly. No, it is 100. Cervical cancer is the one that's 100% directly linked to HPV infection. So the other cancers, right? The penile cancer, the vulvar, vaginal cancer, they all associated with other risk factors, not just HPV. So things like smoking, and other things could
lead to it.
Yeah, make you more susceptible to developing these kind of cancers. But cervical cancer, 100% HPV.
Okay. So, what's some more things about HPV? I heard that there's like 150 different types, like different strains.
Yes.
So does that mean there's like different level of intensity that goes along with them?
I'm not sure if I would say different level of intensity, but like you said, different types, different strains. So the different strains will do different things. Alright, there's some that you call high risk and low risk ones. The high risk ones are the ones that would cause cancer. I think it's HPV number 16 and 18. And like other things that you can get from HPV are genital warts, which genital warts and warts on your body, other parts of your body. So I'm not sure which strains cause the warts on the other parts of your body below your foot. You can get warts by your nose, you can get warts in your face. Anyway, so the higher strains are 16 and 18, which are the ones that lead to the cervical cancer and the different type of cancers. And the lower risk ones are like 6 and 11, which are the ones that most commonly cause genital warts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So I'm going to put up some information just a little bit more about the virus. You see that 8 out of 10 women, they get vaginal cancer, 7 out of 10 for vulvar cancer, 6 out of 10 men for penile cancer. We have some other statistics there. The CDC recommends one of these HPV vaccines for all, and these are just some of the vaccines here actually. We're going to talk about that a little later. So how can this virus be contracted?
So HPV is a virus that's passed on to humans through direct sustained skin contact. So you touch somebody for a very long time.
So it's not like and then I get it. It's like you really have to be.
Oh. That's direct.
Oh my god.
So that's any sort of direct sustained skin-to-skin contact, including especially sexual contact.
Okay.
And any kind of sex, anal, vaginal, oral sex are different ways that you can get HPV infected by this.
Alright, so how could I tell if I have HPV? Like, would I be able to see it, or is it like something I need to go to a doctor for, or?
Actually, it's a silent infection. There are no symptoms.
Okay.
So you could be infected. As a matter of fact, statistically speaking, they say almost everybody has been infected with HPV because everybody who's had sex probably has been infected with HPV. So
you mean like any one of the strains, the 150 strains, not necessarily the
ones
big
that cause cancer or the ones that cause genital warts. So there's no way really for you as an individual to find out because it's an asymptomatic infection.
Okay.
But if you see genital warts, of course, you're gonna know that I've been infected with HPV. Yeah, you go by the doctor, he's gonna be like him or her is he or she is gonna check you, be like, yeah, I think you have some genital warts, so then you're gonna know. So a pap smear, right? Mm-hmm. You know what a pap smear is? Well, I don't know. So a pap smear is the commonly the only FDA approved screening tool that's used to check for women to see if they have been infected with HPV.
And you say FDA, that's for Food and Drug Association in the States, but we use that here in the Caribbean.
Yeah, you do.
Pap smears and stuff.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
It's worldwide. And it's not a matter of go in and get a blood test, because the virus is where it lives is in the mucous membranes on the skin, and it replicates and cause the warts or the cancer when it infects the cells, cause the cells to proliferate, and so women could get checked, but men, you just have to wait until those warts show up.
Damn. Damn. That sucks.
That does suck.
So you have to be so careful.
You need to be careful what you're doing.
So some statistics in the Caribbean from doing our research. The link is in the description below. That in the Caribbean we have about the same amount of men to women having HPV. So, and that was taken in 2015, August of 2015. That was last year, the most recent. So you have about 21.4 men and 21.7 females. And that is crazy, because if it's like 1-to-1, you have men living with this thing and they don't even really know. Women at least could get screened and vaccinated. And you can't get vaccinated even after you have it, right?
Yeah, you can get vaccinated after you are infected. Like you said, there's a lot of strains of the virus, right? So the vaccination is gonna prevent other strains from infecting you. If you're already infected, vaccination prevent the rest. It wouldn't cure the one that you have, although the virus could go away on its own. The vaccination wouldn't cure the strain that you currently have if you're infected. I know, sad.
Yeah, shucks. We found an article online about the top 15 things that people may not know about HPV. So let's go through them right now. So we have that not all HPV can cause cancer. So although the virus can lead to anal, cervical, and vulvar cancers, not all strains include these risks. And I think you kind of touched on that. It says, in fact, only 30% of HPV types are sexually transmitted.
Right, and then like I said, they are the high risk ones and then they are the low risk ones. The high risk ones, I think 16 and 18 are the most, they give the highest occurrence to cancer, but I think there are 4 of them, 4 high risk ones that could cause cancer, and then low risk ones are the ones that lead to the genital warts. I think there are 4 of them also. Next one, you're at risk even with protected sex. You are at risk with protected sex.
So it says that condoms lower your risk of getting the virus, but it does not completely eliminate the risk. If there's any skin-to-skin contact in a sexual situation, you can become infected. Another one, even if you get a vaccine, you still need checkups. A lot of people think that once they get vaccinated for this virus, they're in the clear. So unfortunately, that is not the case. You still need to get pap smears to screen for HPV, since the vaccines only cover a couple of high-risk strains of the disease.
It's not only 1 or 2 that cause the cancer. There are a couple of them that could cause, so you still need to go.
And those lower, I don't say lower risk, I want to call them lower intensity, I don't know. It says that the human immune system usually gets rid of it. So this is good news for most sufferers. In 90% of the cases of infection, the person's natural immunity will be able to fight the infection off within only a couple of years. That's a long time.
That is still a long time, but it's more than just a couple of years that it takes to develop the cancer. So if within a couple of years you get rid of it, you're good. It takes about 10 years at least to develop any kind of signs that you might be getting cancer.
Now that's weird. I'm just thinking like everything in your body is so connected, because if your immune system is not good, then you cannot fight off certain things like that. So now you have to look into your diet, like what you do on a daily, like the drinking, the eating,
the smoking,
all these kind of things. You have to really check on that stuff. You have to really be mindful, like what you eat today, the orange or the apple you choose to eat today could actually help you
not
in the long run.
HPV. That gets to
now we're not saying, let me make this clear, we're not saying that an apple will help you now. I'm just saying your vitamins and your minerals.
build your immune system to fight off any infection that you may have, right?
Right.
So you will not get cervical cancer.
Okay. Or the men.
Get genital warts.
Yeah, shucks, man. Even if you don't have symptoms, you're contagious.
Yeah.
If you've been infected with the virus but don't observe any symptoms, you can still spread the virus to sexual partners. This can happen regardless of whether you've seen the symptoms in yourself.
Yep. Because like I said, it's usually asymptomatic and you just gonna be there, continue to have sexual intercourse with other people and just spread it. Similar to other STDs, well, the ones that are asymptomatic, HIV for instance, if you don't get checked, you won't know, you know?
And now I'm just thinking that's good to, before you get into, and I'm just being realistic, people going to have sex, whether it's before marriage or not, but if you do decide to, you might as well go get checked, and it's not just with the blood test. You know, now you have to look for pap smear and all kind of stuff, all these kind of things you have to wait before you get sexually active with somebody, and not even just before you stop using protection, but also just before, in general.
And while using protection, because they say condoms lower the
yeah, it lower the risk, but it's still
it doesn't completely prevent it.
Infections without the warts are usually associated with cancer. So a lot of people contract this disease and never get genital warts. The ones that do not have warts as a symptom are associated most commonly with cancerous changes in the cervical area, which means getting diagnosed is of utmost importance. Yeah. There are some staggering numbers for this virus. About half of men and women who have been sexually active in their lifetimes will more than likely get the infection. By age 50, 80% of women would get the infection. These numbers are actually from the US, so we don't have a lot of epidemiological evidence in the Caribbean for a lot of different diseases. So a lot of what I can get, I usually try to put it in here, but sometimes the US is kind of like a good reflection of things that are happening in the Latin American, Caribbean countries. Yeah, and the world in general, that's true, because the US is like a melting pot of people coming in and out, so I guess you could kind of like right, you kind of hold up the statistics next to each other, I don't know. HPV, which leads to cervical cancer, is the second leading cause of cancer deaths. So in the United States, so 10,000 women will get cancer of the cervix and almost 4,000 of them will die as a result. This is the second leading cause of death related to cancer among women in the world.
So that's staggering numbers.
Yeah, I think breast cancer is first, yeah, I think, if it's among women. So the vaccine most times work before infection. It doesn't help to get the vaccinated after you already become sexually active. It also doesn't work if you've already had the virus, although it may decrease the risk of contracting separate strains, like you said. Typically, it does not affect a developing fetus. That's good to know, because a lot of these diseases we talk about, like, you know, with HIV and stuff, children are being born with it and stuff. And most times they only born with it, like, it's not whilst they're in the womb, it's when they're giving birth, right? When the mother giving birth and the blood's mixed up. Yeah. So mothers to be who have this virus may be concerned about their unborn baby. However, there is typically little risk of the disease harming the child. And the last one, early sexual activity increases your risk. So if you become sexually active before the age of 18, you are at a higher risk.
And I think that's just because when you do that, you probably end up with multiple sexual partners, and that's another high risk practice for contracting the virus.
So these are some pictures. of the warts. This is on the fingers. I was trying not to make it too graphic, even though I have a warning in the beginning, but some people might not be able to take that. Yeah, and by the eyes. There were others in the mouth. It could happen almost anywhere, and we have a video on that, so check it out. Just a little animation.
Common skin warts, or verruca vulgaris, are caused by a human papillomavirus infection and can occur anywhere, including around the nose or eyes, as well as other problematic locations, such as the bottoms of feet, which can be particularly painful. In addition to sensitive locations, the number of warts can be high and prove difficult to treat. The viral infection can be deep in the lower levels of the skin, and any treatment will need to get to all infected cells to be effective. Destructive treatments such as liquid nitrogen are difficult to give to children under 10 and may be limited further if the warts are numerous or located in sensitive sites. Destructive agents initially leave a blister and the skin recovers over time. The key issue is reoccurrence due to persistence of infected cells, which remain dormant before becoming reactivated, leading to the cycle of recurrence and need for retreatment. There is a need for a treatment option that can cure the infection so that the reoccurrence does not occur, can be used in any location and with any number of lesions, is safe, does not cause pain, and does not scar. There are currently no effective prescription drugs available to treat problematic skin warts.
Okay, so we were talking about the vaccines. In the US, the FDA has approved 3 of them. You have Cervarix, which is only for girls, while Gardasil and Gardasil 9 can be used for both boys and girls. So boys need to get vaccinated as well.
We do, because we get infection also, and we don't want genital warts.
Yeah. So all three prevents the cervical, vaginal, and vulvar cancers, but the Gardasil and the Gardasil 9 can prevent genital warts and anal cancer in women and in men. So if you're going out and if you want to know, look for the Gardasil. So the Cervarix should give it away that it's not for men, okay? So the Gardasil is the one you'll be wanting to look out for.
Do you know what ages they think it's best to give the
Vaccination?
Yeah, the vaccination. No?
I don't know. Well, they say boys and girls, so I'm thinking less teenagers, like early teenage years.
11 to 12-year-old. And I think there's some controversy around that in terms of people think that if you give the children the vaccine, it's gonna make them more promiscuous or make them want to have sex, since that they have protection against these things.
This is irritating to me. I hate to hear people, like, I feel like parents or people who say that, they're very lazy parents.
Lazy parents?
Yeah, because no, because you educate your children, and regardless, as we just said, like, you know, even if you get the vaccination, it doesn't protect against all the 150 strains, you know,
and people are gonna have sex regardless.
People going to make their choice. It's up to you as a parent to really talk to somebody. I mean, we're not creatures. I believe that we're not creatures who you tell us what to do, and most times we do it. We don't. We have free will. We have choice. So at the end of the day, it's really up to these parents or whoever it is that are in the children's lives to educate them and tell them, like, look, this is just as a first line of protection, but that doesn't, you know, and that doesn't protect you from everything else. It's just one thing. One of the 150 of one thing.
Right, and then if you think about it, which one do you want your daughter to have?
Why your daughter?
Cervical cancer.
Why your daughter though? It's the boys you can't find it in. Why it's always women? Why it's always us that have to pay for the sins of men? Okay, sorry.
We're not getting into that, but we weigh options. Which one do you think is better for your daughter to have cervical cancer at 40, or for her to be protected? And you train her, if you think that it's right, to abstain from sexual intercourse before marriage, as Christians tend to believe. Give her the vaccine and tell her what to do, or hope she does the best thing. You know, it's not really that difficult to think.
I believe in better being safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's look at some other ways to protect ourselves from HPV. Obviously, abstinence.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah.
But as we said, you cannot always get it through sex, so it's really touching and stuff like that.
I can tell you can't get it from though. You can't get it from touching a table. If somebody had it and they touched the table and you touch the table, you can't get it toilet seats, you know.
Well, if I could touch a non-living thing, I'm sure I could touch you and get it straight from you. I mean, not you, but...
Well, yeah, that's how you get it. You get it from touching other people that's infected, but not from using things that the infected person used.
Okay,
You understand what I'm saying?
Like using like a cup?
Yeah.
But if I can get it from a table, why can't I get it from a
No,
cup?
you can't get it from the table.
Can't?
Cannot.
Oh, that's what you're saying!
Can't.
See, I hear you saying your accent too strong, you.
Sorry.
So, also, as we said already, getting checked before you become sexually active with someone, grown people relationships, obviously I'm talking to grown people. So, go out, you know, get checked through your blood,
Your blood?
not for HPV only, I'm talking about other things.
Everything. Okay.
Yeah, and also not just through your blood, but also through the cervix and other stuff.
Yeah, check to see, make sure you don't have any warts. Right. Also, you know, if you get warts, you could freeze them off.
Really?
Yeah. And there's a risk that they're gonna return, but you can get them frozen off.
And
Just for aesthetic purposes.
Also, there's a link below. I find the guy is very funny. He has a YouTube channel called Ask Andrew, where he gives a home remedies for getting off warts, but mainly for men, the genital warts for men. And I don't know, it was like take a string and then pull. Now at first I thought he meant like put it around the thing and then pull it off.
No,
I
I think it's basically he was saying you cut off the feed.
Okay.
Yeah, from the top part, and then you just burn it off after with something he bought at the pharmacy.
Of course. My man.
My man.
So what have we learned today? So in conclusion, what is it that we could take from this sequele?
You tell me.
Okay.
Who could get HPV?
Everybody.
And how? Like how?
For sex, for sustained touching.
Sustained direct touches.
Right.
Yeah.
I did not through people's items. Okay.
So the sequelae of sequela.
Have you said it now, right?
Sequela, according to you, of HPV. What are some of the things that HPV could cause?
Mainly cancer, but you can get genital warts.
Yeah.
Mainly cancers of the penis, the vulva, the vagina, the anus, the mouth. I think I saw something like that before.
Oropharyngeal.
Right, cancer. But mainly cervical cancer in women.
Yeah. Well, yeah, cervical cancer at the end.
Yeah, shucks, man. What else? We should get a vaccination if possible.
Yeah.
If it's available, get a vaccination. And also the signs are asymptomatic, meaning that you do not see them actually. There's no signs really.
Yeah, no signs of the infection, just having the HPV infection. But if it decides to manifest, of course, you're going to see the cancer and the warts. But it's regular infection. So you probably had HPV. I probably had HPV or have HPV. I don't know.
I don't like hearing these things. Make me afraid.
No, you're fine. 90% of the people that get HPV, nothing happens to them. Your body, your immune system just fights it off and you're fine. 90%.
Oranges and apples.
Eat your oranges and apples, build your immune system, and you're gonna be fine.
Final juice, $5.
$5.
So, final encouragements, be smart about your sex life, your life in general. Just be smart about the stuff that you do. You cannot just be going and do things all willy-nilly like, you know, I'm free, I'm young, and no.
YOLO.
Yeah. YOLO on the things that are positive, okay? And look into vaccinations. Again, I want to push this. Look into vaccinations. Look into vaccinations. If it's available, ask your doctor, ask your persons at your local health centers. See if it's available to people and how you could go about. And I think there is like a 3-step process for the vaccinations. No, I think I read something about that. One of the pictures that I'm gonna put up or did put up has the step process. I think you take one and then 2 to 3 months later you take another one and then there's a longer time after that. So this is just basic stuff. So look into some good sources, see what they say, and
Protect yourself.
Protect yourself. So anyway, this has been Veronique's Views. These views, health for your wealth. I'd like to thank my friend, Dr. Sirsimon Forbes. He doesn't like hearing that because it's new, but don't worry. You work hard for that DR. So remember, God is love, and keep your intentions pure. Bye.
Bye.